I chose to buy a Samsung S5 for several reasons, and by chose I mean accepting it for free when Sonny gave it to me as a gift. But if I were to get a phone, it was going to be the S5, and this is a great phone that I've been using for the past year. Now the thing is that this phone that I have is limited in that again, I can't complain. I got it for free, but it's made for international LTE. It won't work with a lot of the bands for a lot of the providers for American LTE, which means that the speeds are very slow. So I wanted to look into getting a new phone. I've had this thing for a year. It's been through the ringer. You could see how many times that it's been dropped and abused and beaten by me, and somehow the thing still works. And so I was looking into getting the newer edition. So I saw that there's an S6 that's out, and I decided to look into it a little bit to see if that's something that I should buy. Now, here's where I start to get really disappointed. And before a lot of you start saying that I'm a fanboy and blah blah blah, here let me just give you a little bit of my philosophy on what I think you should do if you enjoy a company and you enjoy their products. And I'm going to go back to Apple's forums from about 4 years ago. Not Apple's forums, Mac Rumors forum. So 4 years ago, some guy posts on the Mac Rumors forum about the 2011 MacBook Pro, which in 2015 we all know is a steaming pile of shit. But let's go back to 2011. He posts and he says, hey, these are the temperatures I'm getting when I do these things out of the box. I've noticed this with, other, and he's going on to say, I've noticed this with, configurations that have no dust inside of them. They're new. There's nothing special about them, and it's throttling. So under standard usage, when it comes right out of the box in a standard temperature room, I get throttling, and here are the temperatures, and the CPU throttles itself down. This machine runs too hot. Nothing insulting, nothing like, Apple sucks, blah, 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 just stating a fact. And then you have a lot of people go, well, you're not supposed to be doing that to your computer. Why are you running that on your computer? Why are you assuming that every single one of them is going to be like that? Blah, 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 blah. And then you read more down the thread, and this is where it really starts to depress me. You have people saying, well, this is a portable product. You're not supposed to be doing those things with this product. You're misusing the product. Needless to say, if you go to Apple's own website, on the MacBook Pro page, it was telling you how the 2011 MacBook Pro has this much of a performance increase over the 2010 MacBook Pro, should you want to do things like Final Cut, like use Logic, like use intensive rendering programs. So no, I mean, not only is it supposed to be made for that, it's advertised to be able to do that. And you have all these people that are defending Apple. And here's the thing that I want to get across here. If you like a product, if you really like the company and you like the product, it's not your job to defend the company when something is done that's wrong, like let's say releasing a device that clearly overheats and dies. I think we can all agree right now that the MacBook Pro from 2011 was a steaming pile of shit. So can the 20,000 people who filed a class action lawsuit. So can all the people who decided to get this recalled at Apple so that you would get the graphics chip replaced for free. Again, not to say I told you so, but I did post in that thread, and I did tell you so. I did tell you so. So, if you believe that a company's product is great and you want to support them, what you need to do is you need to stop defending them when they do something that's wrong. So, for example, a lot of people think I don't like Lenovo. I love Lenovo products. Every single install I do has Lenovo ThinkCenters on the desk and Lenovo ThinkStations and ThinkServers. I love Lenovo products. I think they're great, which is why I complain about them so often on this channel. You see all these videos I do where I'm talking about how some of the designs suck. I don't do that because I hate Lenovo. I do that because I love Lenovo. I want Lenovo to stop fucking up. I care about their design. Lenovo is not going to get any better if I go, yeah, I love you, Lenovo. They're not going to make anything better. But if I say, you've destroyed this product, here are the reasons why, here is why it is less functional, here's why this is dumb, then there's a chance for them to do better. But if we never complain about products that have bullshit, asinine flaws, then they're never going to have a chance to get better. So please understand that I say this as somebody who loves Samsung products and who loves their phones and who loves Android. So what makes the S5 better than the iPhone 5 and the iPhone 6 in my opinion? Well, first of all, it's liquid resistant. If you can literally sweat while you're running and holding your iPhone. And this has happened before. Somebody's running, they're holding their iPhone, they have it in their pocket, they're sweating, and their sweat causes liquid damage to the iPhone. It causes virtually nothing to get an iPhone liquid damaged, or have the buttons break, or have it start randomly rebooting. Again, Jessa at iPad Rehab makes a living off of data recovery from liquid damaged iPhones. It takes nothing to liquid damage these phones. This phone, on the other hand, again, you go online, you see videos of people putting this thing inside of a frying pan or boiling water for 10 minutes or 5 minutes, and it works. I've had the same experience with this. I go running outside, I go running when it's raining. I want to go over to the next video. I scroll on my phone while there's water pouring on it. I put it back in my pocket, which is soaked with water because it's raining. I get home, it hasn't frozen and hasn't rebooted. It just works. And oh God, if you owned a BlackBerry, if you had an 8330 Curve or the 9000, you get a drop of water in that keyboard. You'll have random reboots for days until the thing is just dead. This, you can soak it in water. It still works. I love that this is liquid resistant compared to the iPhone 5 and 6. Then you get into storage and battery. So the great part about this phone is that I have storage that I can plug it into a computer and it immediately shows up as a flash drive that I can copy stuff to. So if I'm on a computer that's offline, I can't email something to myself, but I have some PDF with some billing information, I can copy it to this if I don't have a flash drive, and then when I get to my destination, I can copy it off. And the cool part is that this micro SD card means that I can expand the storage. I can make it bigger at any time. I can carry multiple micro SD cards with me if I want. If I don't want to have the phone plugged into my computer, I can just take the micro SD card and plug it into the adapter that I got for my laptop, which cost all of $1 or $2. I like that, and I also like that the battery is user removable. So you may be saying, if you watch this channel regularly, well, gee, with all the equipment you have, surely you know how to replace the battery in a phone. I do, but can I replace the battery in a phone while I'm on the train? Can I replace the battery in a phone quickly before I enter a room for a meeting on a phone that has a sealed battery? No, I can't. With this, you very easily can. Since the battery is user removable, I can also buy external chargers for the battery, which means that I can have 3 or 5 batteries that I'm all charging simultaneously if I'm a traveler. That's great. And the third thing I like about this phone is that they make them for almost every carrier. So I'm not stuck with one specific carrier, which is great. I like that about this phone. One of the things I used to complain about 7 years ago, back when this was actually a relevant complaint with the iPhone, is you were stuck on AT&T. So back on the iPhone 2 and 3 and 3GS days, you had a choice of AT&T or AT&T. And AT&T in New York in 2008 and 9 was the most worthless, steaming pile of dropped call shit that you can imagine. Now, let's look at the Samsung S6. You've integrated the memory and the battery into the phone. I can no longer replace my battery on the go. It's not, I'm at the gym and I see that I have 7% left. Oh, let me just take the other light battery in my pocket and plug it in. No, the battery is stuck and sealed inside the phone. Now let's think about the storage. Oh, you buy it with that much storage? You're stuck with that much storage. I wonder if that reminds me of another company. Liquid resistance. And this is the part that really pisses me off. Again, one of the reasons that I love this over many other phones, and the reason that I'm kind of tied to this series of phone, this and I guess one of those Sony phones that's liquid resistant, is that, again, I'm used to, oh, it's raining outside, but I want to change the video that I'm watching or listening to while I'm running. Let me take the phone out of my pocket. I'm not going to go back to a point where I walk into a restaurant awkwardly while I'm on my jog and say, oh, I don't want to buy anything here. I just don't want my phone to get liquid damaged while I scroll through something. I don't want to do shit like that. I haven't done that in a really long time. I like being able to just take my phone out in the middle of the rain and use it. But I can't with the S6 because you've taken away a lot of the liquid resistance that was present in the S5. And that sucks. And now you may say, here's the third part that sucks. And this is where where Samsung really did a throwback to Apple in 2007. You may say that, oh, Lewis, you're being an idiot. You can buy the S6 Active. You're a dumbass. You're a J. The S6 Active has liquid resistance. Why are you being such a noob? Why don't you buy the S6 Active? You know why I don't buy the S6 Active? Because the S6 Active is only available on AT&T. Does that remind you of anybody? And, there are all these lawsuits. There's all this legal mumbo-jumbo bullshit over what Samsung has supposedly copied from Apple down to the fucking shape of the phone, which is bullshit. Because you don't copy the shape of a fucking smartphone. It's a rectangle. You have so much shit that Apple claims Samsung has copied. That's bullshit. But you know what Samsung did copy? Samsung didn't copy the things that made Apple great. Samsung is starting to copy the things that make Apple bullshit. Samsung is copying the things that make Apple phones less durable. Samsung is copying what makes Apple phones unsuitable for athletic use. Again, I don't want to use a phone where if my hands sweat while I'm running in the summer and I hit the damn button that it's water damaged and I get error 53 when I go to replace my button. I don't. These are the things that make Samsung great, that it's not an Apple product. If people wanted phones that did not have user replaceable storage, that did not have easy user swappable battery, if they wanted to be tied to only one carrier, if they wanted the phone to be not durable, if they wanted to be, the manufacturer to make every choice for them, they'd buy an iPhone. They wouldn't buy a Samsung. And again, here's the thing, Samsung, you got to stop copying the things that make Apple shit. You're not copying the things that make Apple great. You're not copying the marketing. You're not copying what Apple does to create a cult amongst its users so that people genuinely want to use their products. You're not copying the nice, just easily cohesive experience that you get when you use an Apple computer with an Apple laptop, with an Apple tablet, and an Apple phone. You're not copying any of that stuff. But here you are copying all the things that make their products suck. How about you start copying the things that make their products good while you're copying the things that make their products suck? I would say that if Apple wanted to win the lawsuit on Samsung, if they really wanted to win and just obliterate Samsung's ability to import products into the U.S., they should edit everything they said about, copying the interface and copying the shape of it, and just edit it to Samsung has copied everything that Apple has done to keep this totalitarian grip on how users interface with their devices. And they have removed user choice. They have removed functionality. They have removed durability. Because if Apple did that, they would win the lawsuit on Samsung in a day. Because really, do you think I'm buying an S6? Fuck no. I don't. Again, I still have. I don't even know if AT&T has improved in New York. And honestly, I saw what AT&T was like in 2007, 2008, 2009, and I have no interest in figuring it out. I really, really don't. When you have a network that sucks that bad for 3 years straight, you've lost a customer for life. I don't feel like signing up with AT&T to figure out if they still suck. And I don't feel like having a phone that's not liquid proof. I don't feel like saying, "Oh, I forgot to charge my phone. Well, I can't take my spare battery out because the phone is locked." I don't want to deal with a phone that if I go running and it starts raining, oh crap, my $600 device is now destroyed. I don't want to do motherboard repair in my own shit. So I have no interest in an S6. Really, I have absolutely none. Samsung, you have done everything possible to fuck up a good thing. And I hope that you stop fucking up a good thing with the next phones that you release. Allow people to replace the battery. Put a fucking microsd card slot back in your phones. Make them liquid resistant. If you were able to do it for the S5, then you can do it for the S6. And for fuck's sake, if you decide that you're going to make a phone that's liquid resistant, don't tie it to a carrier that has the shittiest history of providing service in the New York City metro area where there's 8 million people that are coming here regularly who are willing to pay to use your products.